So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that they like the shot spotter technology because it gives them a pretense to go and stop and frisk basically anybody they feel, which inevitably means targeting people of color in the neighborhood. According to a report from Vice, the Chicago Police Department are using what is called a shot spotter in order to justify random stop and frisk. Now, shot spotters are supposed to detect the sound of a gunshot and alert law enforcement when it happens. But the truth is that the overwhelming majority of the time, it's not a gun that fires at all. In fact, only in 9% of cases were they able to retrieve a gun after a shot spotter had alerted the sound of a gun. This is an important detail because why do police officers insist that this is a useful technology for them to have when it has such an incredibly high fail rate and there's such extreme community opposition to it? This is amid a time when police officers are increasingly using mass surveillance techniques in order to keep track of the public and especially people who disagree with them politically, like for example, people who were at Black Lives Matter protests last year. Police officers in Los Angeles had been instructed to collect the social media accounts of people that they interview, not even necessarily arrest, just people that they bump into.
Well, we're learning that the Los Angeles Police Department has directed its officers to collect the social media information of every civilian they interview, including individuals who are not arrested or accused of a crime. Copies of the field interview cards that police complete when they question civilians reveal that LAPD officers are instructed to record a civilian's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other social media accounts alongside basic biographical information.
They're allowing extreme invasions of privacy, all while going out of their way to cover up what the police are doing and allowing the police officers to get away with things like this.
So there's a very troubling new trend of cops using a very specific trick to make it so that videos of the cops doing terrible things don't go viral. And it involves playing pop music when they know they're getting filmed, so that if those individuals who are filming the cops try to post that online, those video postings will get demonetized, but worse, taken down because they're using like the Beatles or Taylor Swift.
Ah, yes, nothing to see here. Just a police officer trying to make sure that anybody filming him gets copyright striked so that the general public can't be aware of what the police officer is doing, because that's a free democracy that we live in. When police officers target left-wing protesters, they target people of color, and then they turn around and try to strike down any type of evidence of their behaviors and do whatever they can to make sure that information about what they're doing is unshareable. In this regard, I think it's incredibly important to remember that when Richard Nixon started the drug war, he did so for very explicitly political reasons. He viewed jailing black Americans as critical to the electoral success of Republicans. There's also plenty of evidence from the protests over the past couple of years that law enforcement on the ground today very much do have political leanings that they express in terms of the people that they decide to arrest and the people that they don't. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot declined to give a comment to Vice to explain why the contract for ShotSpotter was extended, serving as a friendly reminder that when it comes to voting blue, it does in fact matter who. This is Ben Carollo with Rebel Headquarters. You can catch my show Galaxy Brain on the Young Turks Twitch channel every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also follow me on Twitter if you want to stay up to date with my content.